No,
That's us,
Josh,
Kevin.
no, Josh, don't touch.
Stop.
Josh, no,
Interrupt.
Josh,
We
stop.
have
You're
another
messing.
question.
It's as soon as they're ready, I'll be more
Kev,
than happy to
that's us.
start. Okay.
Let's go.
All right, gentlemen, welcome. I want to thank you first off for coming to San Diego. We don't get talent, especially talent of your caliber, to San Diego. So
Why are you
thank
only
you so
pointing
much.
to Kevin?
Because you're not
I said your.
But you looked
not
at Kevin
his.
directly. The camera over here even saw you.
It's going to be one of these. Is this your first time in San Diego,
No.
Josh?
Absolutely.
No. So what have you been out here for?
We recreationally, my wife and kids and I come out here all the time. I love going to La Jolla. It's one of my favorite places on earth, looking at all the art, going down, checking out the seals, going to San Diego Zoo, going to SeaWorld. There's so much fun stuff to do out here.
There is. I love going to La Jolla, checking out the artwork, looking at the seals.
What Kevin does is he takes what I say and then he recycles it without even changing words.
What are you talking about? There's just so much amazing stuff to do down there.
All right, before the screening, the dyslexic projectionists at the AMC put on the little segment at the end where you say, "No, don't leave."
Really.
So you say, "My name is Josh Gad, G-A-D." How many different ways are there to spell Gad? And if anyone, it should be Hart because he's missing the E.
I know.
Yeah, you do that.
I do?
You don't remember?
No.
Yeah, you spell your name.
You do that. That's what
Unless there's an H
Gad.
in there somewhere.
G-A-D, you do. That's
Hi,
what
I'm Josh Gad.
A lot of people spell it with two D's.
Oh.
A lot of people, because of Steve Gadd, the drummer.
Oh.
So a lot of people.
Oh, right.
Well, King Kong is right outside this door right now, Kev.
All right, who do you guys normally get mistaken for? Who stops you on the street and who do they mistake
Oh,
you
man.
I've been
People
mistaken
mistake me for Chris Tucker.
That is a lie.
One face.
From Rush Hour.
I get DL Hughley, believe it or not. I get DL Hughley.
What?
DL! What? Hughley! Man, I loved your show. And I've gotten Tracy Morton before.
Anybody, I get mistaken for anybody slightly overweight with black hair. So Jonah Hill, Jack Black, just every
mistake you for
man.
me?
I have. So
okay.
people came up to me today and were like, "Scott, hey Scott, how's your column going?" And I was like, I don't know what. I'm not Scott. I don't have a column.
Does your agent have TMZ on speed dial? You were on that show more than you were on stages and screens.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something about TMZ. I have a great relationship with those guys. I am nice to them. They want to talk to me. I always talk to them. You don't want to be an enemy of TMZ.
No.
So whenever they
ask
ask me,
they got yours.
I'm telling you, whenever they see me, I don't care how much of a rush I'm in. I stop.
Hey,
whatever you need, guys. You know whatever.
You're on the show more than Harvey,
Hey,
so you're doing fine.
I'm
All
not
right.
complaining.
They asked you. Let me one serious question. They asked you if you will ever work for Sony again, and you never gave an answer.
Never gave an answer. You stay
No.
PC. At the end of the day, I'm in the business. In the business, opportunities come, opportunities go. So depending on what opportunities are brought my way, depends on the work that I'll do. See that? I never really answered it, but I answered it.
That was really
It's
impressive.
just
That
dope.
was
It just
really,
makes me
really
smile.
good. All right, it takes a long time to make a movie. So how do you guys entertain each other during the downtime?
Talking.
Yeah, we just genuinely get along with each other.
We talk. I just don't like the people that work for Josh. This girl named Barbara. She's got an attitude.
She doesn't. Barbara's a great girl. Barbara, don't let him talk to you like that. Barbara's one of the sweetest human beings.
You're becoming quite the mover and shaker in providing cartoon voices. How did that happen? Do they come to you, or?
I have what you call a dulcet tone. That it puts people in a good mood. No, I enjoy. Frozen was such an unexpected surprise.
What I'm saying, it's
so,
one of those good accidents that happen.
Yeah, it was great. It was like I had always had the dream of doing a voice in a Disney animated movie, but it surpassed all my wildest expectations.
That's got to be a thrill.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
That's got to be a thrill. All right, I'm a stickler for logic, and there is one point of logic that escaped me while I was watching The Wedding Ringer. Now, I'm talking about the character you play. In real life, you have a wife, your 2 kids, but the character you play is kind of a slovenly Zlob. How is it that you can get Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting? Mm-hmm. How long is that going to last?
It takes so long. She catches a hand cramp when she's
okay. So, how can you wind up getting her, yet not have a friend that you can ask to be your best man at your wedding?
Well, I think that the conceit of that is that this is a guy who provides her with a sense of protection. He's an investment for her. He does well. He's got, he's a caretaker. He desperately loves her, and so she feels safe. And I think, as he says in the movie, he's never had time to make friends. He's always been going nonstop. He's the kind of guy who doesn't really have, he's never allowed himself to build a group of friends. So I think with Kaylee, it's a happy accident. And the rest of his life wasn't as lucky. And I think I buy that completely. I've always bought that. Because that is what the movie hinges on. It's the fact that this girl fell in love with him because... And we don't even know if she's really in love with him. But she settled for him because he's a safe bet. And that's not necessarily the way it goes with friendships.
Well,
Friendships are things that require
She also says that. There's a moment where Kaylee's character says, you know what, I'm tired of dating assholes.
Yeah.
And you know what, he's a good guy, he's safe, and this is what I need, so I can stick with this for
and here's the other thing about it, Scott. It's a movie. It's just
but even if you make a fantasy, and this film is a fantasy.
This is called the motion picture.
I have to suspend disbelief.
I think you need to suspend it a little bit. There are far more loopholes in movies like Avengers than there are in this one.
But why even waste our time talking about those? I mean, this at least made me laugh, All right, we share a friend.
Who?
Alan Arkin, and he lives in this town. That is my favorite performance of yours. You are so fucking funny in that movie.
Thank
the
you,
two
man.
of you together. So you have a message for Mr. Arkin?
Hey, listen, I am a friend and a huge fan of Alan, and I can honestly say something about Alan. The chemistry that you see with me and Josh, me and Alan had that same chemistry. Like I talked to Alan when we were off set, just going to dinner, hearing his stories. I genuinely have love for Alan Arkin. So please send my love, man. He's such a good guy.
Done.
Funny.
I love Alan Arkin.
Fun, like he's so
actor.
funny. Like just naturally funny, just hearing his stories.
So what brought the two of you together? Had you met before? Did you work?
No, I would never talk to Josh.
If I saw Kevin, I would run the other way.
You call him DL Hughley. And
I do. I was the guy who was like, hey, DL, what happened with that show on CNN, DL? Yeah.
Did you have a hand? It's a great supporting cast. Who brought Jeffrey Ross on board? Because God bless
Jeremy
him.
Gerlich is responsible for all of the casting of this movie, along with the brilliant cast and director.
Take our hat off to him.
He really did. He found this ensemble that I think is the funniest ensemble since Bridesmaids. It's just like knocked down, talented people, some of which you've never even heard of before, who I think are going to all be stars.
You hear about Los Angeles really trying to bring filming back to the city. This was originally set to film in Chicago, and what did you get? Like a $2.8 million California tax credit,
we got it.
And that brought you out here.
And it's important. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you film more movies everywhere but Los Angeles, and it's about time that some of these films came home. Yeah. And it was really fun to shoot at home, to get in your car, go home, and see your wife and kids, and like that's really
I
nice.
could do without that part, but it was fun to shoot at home. I don't have to see my lady and my kids. I'm fine. It's just being gone sometimes. It's okay.
I read a bit about your personal backstory. Talk to me about using laughter as a coping mechanism.
Oh, for me, laughter heals all wounds. Personal.
I thought it wounds all heals.
For me, regardless of what I'm going through, positive or negative, I love to talk about it on stage. That's where I vent. That's my drug. I'm not a person that goes and partakes in a bunch of extracurricular activities that put me in trouble. So the stage is my trouble. That's where I say things before other people can.
Now, has there already been a sequel announced to The Wedding Ringer?
It's called Boat Trip.
Yeah, we're doing a remake of Boat Trip. We're really excited about it.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
And maybe Soul Plane after that.
There you go.
We're looking at.
I'm
hesitant just because the first one's obviously such a fan favorite. So
Yeah,
I want to make sure.
I'm trying to get you.
I want to make sure we get the right energy.
Well, this time instead of the plane being purple, we're going to make it gold.
Just so long as the box office is gold, and you're going to kick ass this weekend.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming to San Diego. It was a real pleasure
I appreciate the time,
meeting
man.
both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks
It's
a lot.
pleasure.
Okay.